Welcome back for another video. Who are the best players to buy for Gameweek 9? Where is the template currently shifting to? There are some emerging trends that you might have missed, so let's run through the best picks sorted by positions. So as a reminder, before we get into it, there's a lot of midweek football on before Gameweek 9. The following teams are all playing in Europe before Gameweek 9 kicks off: Arsenal, Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Spurs, Villa, Forest and Palace. So the sensible thing to do is to wait before making any moves just in case. A seemingly good transfer now, it might get you an extra 0.1 mil, 0.2 mil, but it can of course backfire as a potential terrible transfer, like if someone gets injured in your team. So that's the advice, but of course do what you want with your team. Goalkeepers first then. So Arsenal have got a home game to Palace next, which has got Raya top of the table, 4.1 points he's on. Arsenal haven't even faced a shot on goal in their last 2 games. That's how ridiculous their defence has been, and it's why many are doubled up on Arsenal defence, whether that's Raya Gabriel, Timber Gabriel, Gabriel Saliba, etc. 4.83 expected goals conceded this season is best in the league. 3 goals conceded in 8 games is crazy, honestly. Newcastle have conceded 5.81 expected goals, which ranks second best, which has got Pope as an incredibly appealing option as well, for 0.5 mil cheaper than Raya. And that affords you the luxury of having an extra outfield Arsenal player. Is it worth doing Raya to Pope then to bring in an outfield Arsenal player? It's probably not worth 2 moves, but that's down to preference. Like if for example the outfield player you're bringing in is Saka, then it has potential to work. It's worth pointing out that the next 5 projections actually have Petrovic ahead of Pope, which is quite surprising. Or they're basically even actually. It's 17.4 for Petrovic, 17.2 for Pope on FPL review. That Palace game absolutely annihilated Bournemouth's expected goals conceded stats though. They were among the best, but they did concede 4.44 XG against Palace, which was by far the highest of last game week, and they've dropped down to 12 for expected goals conceded this season. Chelsea have got an amazing fixture run. Though obviously at the back of my head there is that quote from Maresca a while ago when he said Sanchez won't play every single game, and I think he touched on the league as a possibility as well. So I interpreted that as there could be the odd random game just here and there, like maybe once, maybe twice max all season, that Sanchez misses out on a league game potentially, and it could be one of those easier games where you'd want him to play, you know, like Burnley away's coming up. It might not happen at all, but it'd be enough to put me off now. Defenders next. So yeah, on the subject of Chelsea's fixture run, James and Karaj are on the table here. An 18 pointer for James last match. 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 clean sheet, 3 bonus points. Was discussing him in the transfer plans video because I can afford him in my team, but I just can't trust him to play every game. This season he started 5 out of 8, which just isn't enough for me. They are managing him like really well, it has to be said, but it does feel a bit risky. I think Karaj is the one, but yeah, Cielo also deserves a mention because he started every game besides when he was suspended. So it's Nottingham Forest home for Senesi next, which has got him on 4.4 points. However, if you don't have him at this stage, you could consider waiting until game week 11 or 12. Said the same last week, the fixtures are a little bit mixed, and then they get better again game week 12, because after Forest they've got Man City away, and then it's Villa away. What about Trippier then? He's only 5 mil, another one that I'm actually looking at. It's Fulham home next, who of course are riddled with injuries as well. He is an amazing pick given Livramento's injury. However, Livramento could be back game week 12, so if you're willing to do it, then you're going to get 3 games out of Trippier potentially. With that said, it is a really nice block of 3 games, so it could be just about justifiable, especially if you're on lots of transfers and you're able to get him back out in say 4 game weeks time. So yeah, he's a short-term punt, but it would be Fulham home, West Ham away, Brentford away. And then it's Man City after that game week 12, which is when Livramento is potentially back as well. Burns the more sensible pick. He's 5.1 mil, so about the same price, but lower ceiling potentially. And then there's Botman and Thor that are options as well in centre back, but it's a bit unclear what happens at centre back when Hall returns soon. Tarkowski just misses out on making a table this week. They've got Spurs home. He's on 4.2 points. It looks good to play again for the foreseeable following the City game out of the way. Rodon's on 4 points. They're home to West Ham next, so he's playable if you've got him, but maybe there'll be a Nuno bounce underway. What about West Ham defenders then? Because they've got some nice fixtures themselves. Mavropanos is the one that registers really well for defensive contributions per 90. Or of course, if you'd rather just go for the goal involvements, then Juve has got 4 assists and he's only 4.4 mil. So midfielders next, and if these videos are helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. I post daily FPL content to help you do well. Look away, Bruno haters. He's second on the table this week. He's on 6.1 points, and his next 5 actually look fantastic as well in terms of projections there. Amram's also confirmed that he will still be on penalty duties, and as I say, the fixtures are great. Brighton, Forest, Spurs, Everton, Palace, West Ham, Bournemouth. So there's still a lot in favour of Bruno, and I'm going to keep him in my team anyway. 36 points after 8 games is Salah's worst ever tally at this stage in his entire Liverpool career. If you still got him at this stage, it's time to sell. And if you still don't have Haaland, then yeah, the switch has just got to be done. Otherwise, consider Bruno and Saka if you had Salah and Haaland. And you'll have millions left over as well to play with. So a price rise to Saka, he's back where he started, 10 million. The big question is it worth using 2 transfers to sell Gyökeres to buy Saka? But it's really mixed opinions on this, and I don't think this one is obvious. It's not like Saka's banging in the goals either. He has looked really good, especially at last game, and both are decent picks. But the other factor is, the strikers are just pretty underwhelming right now. Like, there's Haaland, Voltemada. That's about it after that in terms of in-form strikers right now. Obviously Mateta as well, got the hat-trick last match, but you're not going to buy him before Arsenal away, logically. Maybe in Game Week 10, so... yeah, that's personally got me leaning towards not doing anything with Gyökeres just yet, maybe in Game Week 10. Arsenal said they're desperate to get Gyökeres a goal. He's doing everything else right but that, basically, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if he does take the next penalty. Saka is the type of player that would be happy to just say, yeah, you can have this one, and let him have that confidence booster. Gordon is someone that we are very confident is on penalty duties, which does make him quite an exciting pick, and he's on the table here. It's Fulham home, then it's West Ham and Brentford, nice games, and they'll be looking to respond immediately after that loss to Brighton. Mbeumo's the one that I want to highlight as well. I've not really seen him mentioned anywhere, but in terms of non-penalty expected goal involvement, Gakpo is the only player higher than his 4.13 non-penalty XGI, and Gakpo is on 4.18, so they're basically dead even there. He's been really unlucky not to have more goal involvement, and as we said about Bruno, Man United's fixtures are great, and of course he is going to AFCON, but that's not till Game Week 16, so you get a nice run out of him. Really low owned player as well, so there's a definite case for Mbeumo there. The case against him, let's play devil's advocate, is basically Sart and Enzo are showing very good data as well, and they're cheaper. Plus, of course, there's Gordon for cheaper. His data's not been as good yet, but we recently learned that he's on penalties, and they did start the season without a recognised striker, so things could start to click for Newcastle. So yeah, no Enzo on the table. We're waiting to see if he is fit and ready for Game Week 9. We'll have the benefit of the Champions League as well to assess where he's at. If we've got Enzo fit and available, and we notch him up to an estimated 80 minutes, that puts him on 5.2 points. That moves him right up the table. So yeah, despite not featuring on the table by default, if he is ready for Game Week 9, I'm strongly looking at him before Sunderland home. A few other names lastly to mention not on the table: Paquetá and Kudus, both on 4 points, Dewsbury Hall and Grealish 3.8, Grealish back available after being ineligible to play against City last game week. Forwards up next, and yeah, as we were saying earlier, right now the forwards are a bit dead compared to the mids. Will we see a shift to 3-5-2 being the new template? It seems probable, especially for those that got the bench boost used up, because you can drop your third forward down to a 4.3 mil forward like you. It's Haaland that tops the table, he's on 5.8 points, and then Gyökeres, Isak, João Pedro and Voltemada. If you're considering Isak, I would swerve him honestly. Like, Liverpool just haven't got going yet, and it's no coincidence when Salah hasn't got going, nor have Liverpool. And Isak's just so expensive, let alone the fact he's not even on penalties, and he won't play 90 every game. After 2 goals, 3 assists in his opening 4 games, it's now 4 blanks in a row for João Pedro, and he started those 4 as well. It just doesn't feel like the week to sell him before Sunderland home, as frustrating as he's been. Patience could be rewarded here. Though of course, credit to Sunderland, they've been superb. I mean, if he blanks again, then João Pedro to Mateta looks like that could become a really popular move from Game Week 10 when Palace's fixture run starts to look incredible once Arsenal away is done. Since making his debut in Game Week 4, Voltemada has scored in all but 1 game, and it was an absolutely class flick last match to keep his run of form going. So since he only made his debut in Game Week 4, what's the data like compared to others over that run specifically? Well, it's 2.65 expected goals since Game Week 4, which places him 3rd in the league behind Mateta and Haaland. The data tables you see in these videos are all from Scout. Use the link below to get 40% off. And also the code FFSFocal5 temporarily gets you an additional 5% off. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe if this was helpful, and as always, like the video. See you soon for the next one.